Alright. So we're on World 2 now. Titan.
Welcome to Peacekeepers. Look how our treasure has been stolen and turned against us. Please, recover our treasure, Spyro.
Collect treasure. Got it.
Alright, so that's hinting at the next requirement for World 3, which is you have to have a certain amount of gems to be able to do it. So, although the requirements are so low, like they're so easy to meet that really you can just finish the overworld for this world and then just move straight to World 3 because like you'll have enough gems by the time you finish the home world of World 2. So that's pretty cool. Alright, now any people who know me in real life, actually hang on, don't kill those guys yet. We're gonna scare them into their tents. Run! Flee! Because you get a skill point. Alright, that's scare 6 Norks into tents. That one's pretty easy, just don't kill them too early and you'll be fine. But anyway, people who know me in real life, you will know that I usually despise desert levels with like every fiber of my being. I absolutely hate them. Except for a few games that have really awesome desert levels, and one of those games is Spyro the Dragon. So this desert world is actually pretty alright. I'm actually a huge fan of this one.
Well, Magic Crafter's world is far away and very dangerous. Maybe if you find 1,200 stolen treasure, I'll show it to you.
Alright, so there's your incentive for this world, is 1,200 stolen treasure. Magnus!
Hey, Spyro. Sparks the Dragonfly has been doing a good job protecting you. Make sure to keep him strong by feeding him lots of butterflies.
Oh, Jesus. Sir? What the shit? That's awkward. Okay. But I think that was a glitch there. Glad I got that on camera. Jeez. Okay. So anyway, yeah, Spyro's desert levels are really awesome. This world is pretty cool, and also there's a desert level in Spyro 3 that is probably one of my favorite levels in the entire series. That's pretty cool. But yeah, this game has really good desert levels. I like the desert areas in Zelda Twilight Princess, which I might play and upload to YouTube at some point. We'll see. I gotta get like the right equipment to record that stuff, though. At the moment, I do not have that, so I'll just keep that in the back of my mind, and maybe eventually I'll get a capture device and I'll be able to stream Twilight Princess. That would be so much fun. I love that game. But yeah, the desert area in that game is really cool as well. But in general, I think it's mainly in Mario games. I don't like desert levels. They're really all very similar, and it's not a lot of variety. They kind of just get old after a little while. But this game the desert level is really cool. I feel like it's different from a lot of other games where, like, mainly in Nintendo games, they'll go for like an Egyptian desert sort of feel with like pyramids and stuff. If that's how they went in like Mario 64 and Mario Galaxy. They had those kinds of desert levels, but like in this game, it almost feels like an American desert, you know, like Arizona or something. And we'll see that in some of the other levels here, but like it feels like a different kind of a desert level, which is cool. It's something unique. And uniqueness is what makes a game, really. Gunnar.
Well done, Spyro. Keep up the good work, and I know you'll fulfill your destiny.
Destiny?
I just want to kick some...
Just toast those enemies and collect the treasure.
His teeth frighten me. If we're being completely honest, his teeth frighten me. Alright, so this jump, you want to, like, get a running start to make this one. Yeah, I've talked a bit about how this game's a bit harder than the original, and that's one way where that you definitely notice it. Like, some jumps are just a bit tighter than they used to be. I don't know why, but that particular jump there is one of them. Where, like, I find it really easy to miss that jump, like, without even realizing it, because the window of, like, where you can hit the button to glide over is, like, really broad in the original game, but now here you have to be pretty precise. It's easy to fall a little bit short and fall in the tar, and no one wants that. That would suck. Alright, let's do Dry Canyon. So that's one thing to keep in mind about this game, is some jumps just feel a little bit more difficult. We'll see that in not this level but the next one. There's a particular jump that I think first time I ever did this version I actually died because I didn't make it. Whatever, just get a running start, you'll be fine. Alright, so I mentioned in the previous episode, if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're watching on stream, I mentioned about 10 minutes ago that there are some features that they actually kind of added into this game a little bit. Not really added, but like features from the different games that they put in, like, okay, for example, in Spyro 2 and 3 for the original, those games are the only ones that had skill points originally. There were no skill points in Spyro 1. But when they remade it, they added them in. So that kind of stuff, you know, just to make the games a bit more similar. One thing they did not add to Spyro 1 was the hover maneuver. So in Spyro 2 and 3, the little triangle button, instead of just dropping down, you like get a little boost. Although that would have kind of broken the game, if we're honest. Some jumps would have been way too easy. So that one makes sense to not add in. But another feature is the map, which I think is super awesome. Conan.
What? Huh? Oh. Thank you for releasing me, Spyro.
Alright. They added a map in, which actually, for the longest time, I didn't even know they had a map in Spyro 2 in the original games. But they did. And now they have them in all 3 games, which is pretty rad. The other thing they added in was the Sparks gem finding feature, which is actually what made me think of this in the previous episode. But if you hold down L3, or just press it really, Sparks will point in the direction of the nearest gem, which is super helpful if you are missing like a single gem at the end. Ivor.
Is that you, Spyro? Are you the young dragon I've been hearing so much about? Ever since you were a wee puff of smoke, we've known,
You've known...
I forget.
Poor Ivor, he can't remember things very well. Okay, so... what was I saying? Oh yeah, adding the gem finding feature really just prevents you from spending 10 minutes wandering around the level aimlessly trying to figure out what the hell you missed. Because there's nothing worse than that. It's like getting to the end and having like 399 out of 400 gems. That sucks ass. Okay, so over here, these vultures, I mentioned that there's some enemies that are a lot more aggressive in this game than in the original. I find these vultures attack you from a lot farther away. And something that happens if you go in here and you go like over here, this corner, you're actually right next to the vulture there. It's like if you walk over here, and then when you walk back out, they'll like go around the corner like that. And the first time I played this game, that scared the shit out of me. Like I was like, oh my god, like they didn't used to come that far to attack you. There's another part coming up here real fast where the same kind of thing happens, where they come at you from like really far away, like around a corner that they didn't used to fly around. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with making the game a little bit more difficult, adding some more difficult enemies, but it just kind of scared me the first time, you know? I did not expect a murderous bird to fly around a corner and destroy my life, but they did it, so that's pretty cool. Alright, now that island out there, we're going to come back to that later. We need a key to go out there. Okay, so right here. Look at that shit. You're not supposed to do that. He never used to do that before. So that's pretty cool. Speaking of cool things, that's our first 25 gem in the game. So that's nice. It is so satisfying to collect the purple gems. Boris.
Dry Canyon rewards good gliders. You are a good glider, eh, Spyro?
I was born to glide.
I didn't mention this before, but the Peacekeeper's world definitely has the best dragons in the game. Like, oh my gosh, they're all so badass. Their names are badass too. But like that dude, he had like a chipped horn. He had a freaking rattlesnake rattle on the end of his tail. Like, what a badass. Not that the dragons in other worlds aren't cool, but like, in this world, pretty much every single dragon is like badass. It's amazing. Alright, so here, this is actually a part that was really hard for me to figure out as a kid. So when you're up here, you want to actually fly around this corner, so like that. I don't know, as a child, that was like one of the hardest parts to figure out, as like on my own. Maximos.
Incredible glide, Spyro. I thought I'd be stuck here forever with those ugly vultures standing on my head. Those birds might look tough, but they're pretty tasty. Flame broiled with a pinch of salt.
Honestly, that sounds delicious. I want to have a rotisserie vulture now. No, I don't. That's fucking gross. Vultures eat, like, corpses. I feel like that's not something you should be eating. I mean, you do you, man. You eat vultures if you want, but that sounds really, really gross. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that jump. As a child, I could not figure that out. I actually had to look it up. There are 3 parts of this first game I had to look up as a child. It was that part right there, that one jump, Treetops, which is a later level, and we'll get to that in all its glory. Treetops is the only level where I really go like into full tutorial mode, explain literally everything I do, because I have a really good strategy for Treetops. So I figured I might as well explain it as I go, so people can watch it and not be completely confused. Alright, I'm pretty sure I'm missing stuff, because that's a weird number of gems to have. I'm missing a lot. Holy shit. Oh, I never went to the end of the level, did I? That would explain it. I never actually went into the little castle thing at the very end. Let's do that. But anyway, I had to look up that part, that one jump, Treetops, and another level near the end called Haunted Towers. Those parts were the most difficult to figure out as a kid. Oh, jeez. Rude. Alright, please be 5. Thank you. Alright. Let's get the hell out of here. Alright, we are rolling. We're on a roll here. Alright, through Cliff Town next. Now this level has another jump that was actually... It feels a bit more difficult than it used to be. I'll point it out when we get to that part of the level, but... There's one jump that I actually failed my first time playing the remaster. Although if you do like the running jump and then glide, it actually, you should make pretty much any jump. But like you never had to do that before, so I didn't try it when I first got here, so I died. But now that I know, I actually do that every time, so you live and you learn. So this is the first level where Spyro like flies into the stratosphere for some reason before landing. I never got why he did that, but now I think I know why it is. I'm pretty sure, because if you look around, like any level where he does that, if you look around, there's always some sort of structure nearby. And so I'm pretty sure he just does that so he doesn't clip through walls and stuff, because that would be kind of awkward. So like if he did his normal landing in that castle over there, he would clip through the wall like in the back, and that would just be bad. So he just doesn't do that. Alright, make sure you get these gems over here, because I always forget those. And it sucks ass if you forget those. It's not so bad anymore because you have the gem finder thing, which I actually never finished talking about. The gem finding feature was only in Spyro 2. Well, Spyro 2 and 3 in the original series. You had it from the beginning of Spyro 2, but Spyro 3 had to be unlocked, which makes no damn sense, but whatever. This guy is really fast. Get back here. Die! Got him. On the failed recording, or on the first recording I did, he actually fell in the river, which was pretty awesome. Halvor.
How's a dragon supposed to flame metal armor anyway?
Remember, Spyro, flame won't work on metal, but charging with your horns, that should do the trick.
Those thieves are dickholes, so like knocking him in the river was so satisfying. But alas, not this time. Alright, these freaking guys keep giggling. Or like laughing awkwardly. Stop it! Stop it! You're being awkward. Being awkward and weird. Oh, I also didn't mention this before, but make sure you flame all the pots, because they have gems in them. Which actually, you guys want to hear my theory as to why there's gems in these pots? I made this revelation one of my earlier playthroughs of this game. But like, I have a theory as to why there's gems in these pots. I'm pretty sure these big fat ladies, I don't know what the hell they are, but I'm pretty sure they're cannibals, or they eat these little minion guys, because if you think about it, in like the opening cutscene of the game, they mentioned that Nasty Nork turned all the gems into the enemies. So that's why when you kill an enemy, you get the gem back. So what happens is like they cook the freaking little dudes, and then they die in there, and the gem is left behind. So I'm pretty sure they're cannibals. Not really cannibals, but they eat their friends. which is not the best. Enzo.
Hey, what's on the other side of that river?
Why don't you glide there and find out?
So there's a lesson there, kids. Do not eat your friends, because they will likely not be your friends afterwards if you do. And also it's cannibalism, so don't do it. So you guys in the comments, what do you think about that theory? Do you think they're cannibals? Would you call it cannibals? I mean, they're on the same side. I guess they're not really the same species, as far as I can tell. But, like, they're eating their brethren. Either way, it's fucked up. So. Alright, now that jump right there, I didn't even talk about it, but, like, when you fly over to the side of the river, that's the jump where I died the first time. Like, it's just a tiny bit farther than you think it is, so make sure you accurately time that jump, or just do a charge and then glide after that. Piss off. Alright. There is another part of this level that's pretty tricky to figure out. I think I eventually figured it out as a kid on my own, but it took a long time. So we'll get there in a second. But first we're going to get this dragon. Marco!
You've reached the highest point in Clifftown. You can get to almost anywhere from here. If I were you, I'd use that whirlwind over there.
Damn it, you're supposed to say polo, you fucker. It's not how you play the game. I say Marco, you say polo, okay? You did it wrong. Alright, over here. This is where the tricky bit is. So you gotta, like, fly out around this castle. Like, that was so hard to find out as a kid. I think I eventually figured it out, though. It's a bit easier in this version because you can just use freaking sparks to point at the missing gems, and it'll point behind the castle there. But in the original game, that was, like, near impossible to figure out. I was a pretty proud little kid when I figured that one out. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I was like 6 or so when I, okay, I mentioned that I had like a demo of this game, and I think I was like 6 or so when I played that the first time, but I might have been like 7 or 8 when I played the full game for the first time, so I wasn't like a little kid. I was still kind of a shrimp though. Look at that gem count. Even 2,000. That's a good number. Alright, so now it's time. I guess the developers got tired of the desert levels as well. So they gave us a nice level instead. I never really understood that, but whatever. Like I said, I like, I don't like desert levels usually, but this game, they're alright. I'm okay with desert levels in this game. That might be because there's not that many of them, though. Really, there's only 2 like main levels in the desert world that are desert themed. For the third one, they just gave up and made it ice themed, which is totally okay with me. Because this level's awesome. Like, look at this. It's so cool. Alright, always make sure you check behind the start. I love to hide gems back there. Alright, so, Ice Cavern. I guess while I was talking about desert levels before. Hang on, let me get this guy real fast. Ulrich.
Word of caution, little one. Wait until you grow big, like me, before charging those large enemies.
Alright. Actually, before I keep talking about that, let me tell you a story about that dragon real fast. When I was a little kid, like I said, it was my first video game ever, so I didn't really understand anything at all. So when I heard that as a child, you know, kid logic, that made me believe that Spyro would eventually grow big. Like him. Because that's what the dragon says. He's like, wait, so you grow big like me? I was like, oh my gosh. If I play the game long enough, that means Spyro will grow up and become a big boy dragon. Never happens, but like, kid logic led me to believe this, and you know, I was using my imagination, okay? Todor.
Spyro, some big Norks up ahead are wearing armor, and in the ice cave, armor can make their feet very slippery.
Anyway, that's a little random little side story about little me playing this game for the first time. I have so many memories with this game. Like, that's why it's one of my favorite games of all time. Like, pretty much every level has like some sort of significant memory, like from my childhood attached to it. So it's pretty cool. So when they announced this remake, I was like so freaking excited because that meant I get to relive my entire childhood all over again. Good times. Andor.
Thank you for releasing me.
You're welcome, sir. But anyway, back to my conversation about I was talking about level themes. I mentioned how I don't like desert levels usually. Ice levels are pretty cool. Ha! Get it? So sorry. Anyway, but ice levels are pretty neat. I like them better in this game. Well, this one. It's pretty much the only ice level in the entire game, really. But like, I like this one because you're not like sliding all over the goddamn place. Which is what's really annoying about a lot of ice levels, is the fact that you're freaking sliding everywhere. I mean, it's realistic physics, but still, like, it's obnoxious. Obnoxious. But my favorite levels were always lava levels. I don't know why. Actually, I think I mentioned this later on in the series, but, or was it in the first recording? See, I can't remember when I mentioned stuff, so hopefully I'm not like repeating stuff I talked about later on in the series, and if I am, then, well, you're gonna hear them again when future episodes come out that aren't a re-recording, or aren't a redone version of the game. But anyway, my favorite levels were always lava levels because they have like the best music, they always look amazing, they're usually pretty difficult, they're just overall epic and intense. Just all around a good time. Asher.
Thanks for freeing me, Spyro. And now, where was I?
But that invites me to ask you guys in the comments on YouTube. Tell me, what is your favorite like theme for a level? Like I said, mine's a lava theme. I guess while you're at it, what's your least favorite? I also like, well, any really like unique themes that you don't see very often. So an example, in Donkey Kong Country Returns, they have an entire world that's like a factory. I always loved that world because you don't see factory levels very often, but they're like super super cool. The entire world is really awesome. I'm trying to think. There's not really any factory levels in this. I mean, there's one like mechanical themed level in Spyro 2, which we'll get to. Even though I've already done it as of doing this live stream, but not really any factory levels in this game. I guess the final world of this game is kind of industrial themed. That's pretty cool. Ragnar.
You've done well, Spyro. Some dragons thought you weren't ready, but I knew they were wrong.
I'm ready, all right. Ready for what?
But yeah. So you guys tell me all about that. What are your favorite kinds of levels and least favorites? Do you guys hate desert levels as much as I do? So that this should be the end of this level. So I am actually done with this level technically, but I am going to show you guys how to get those lives. So that involves a quick run back to the very beginning. So I'm going to speed this up and I'll meet you guys there. Now. So basically just fly this way around the corner and there you go. 3 extra lives for you guys. So if you're prone to getting game overs or dying, I guess, that'll stop you from getting game over. Hopefully. Or at least put it off for a bit longer. Trust me, with some of the later levels in this game, mainly treetops, you're going to want to save up all the lives you can. Alright, so that's all 3 of the main levels for this world. So let's head on out and let's do the flying level next. Now this flying level actually is a lot easier than the previous one in my personal opinion. The first one is so well hidden that you don't really know about it until much later when you actually get a tip about it. So they made that one a bit harder because you're not supposed to find it until way later. But this one is the first one you would logically come across. So it's probably the easiest in the entire game. You are a bit strapped for time, but not too much. Not a huge deal. But let's talk about this level. Look at the sky. Like, it's so pretty. The background and everything. One thing with these flying levels in the Reignited Trilogy, when you're like changing direction like that, like elevation like that, you want to like have manual control over the camera because it kind of just angles itself up and down, does all kinds of crazy shit, and it makes it a lot harder to actually like hit stuff. So when you're like changing elevation like that, I recommend actually taking like manual control over the camera and like angling it down so you can see what you're doing. Otherwise, you're just gonna crash like into those little pedestals that the chests are on top of. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Okay, now I'm gonna be. Oh my god! Stop hitting him! I'm gonna be rushing now. Hang on, let me do this in a bit of a different order than I usually do. Oh shit! I might have messed this up. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit. Fuck! God damn it! See, you're strapped for time. I mean, it's not a big deal if you don't slam into lighthouses 3 times in a row. That definitely helps. God damn. Alright. No big deal. Let's just... You know, both of these so far, I've said, these aren't too bad. Oh, these flying levels, they're not too bad. Yeah, fucking shut your mouth, Andrew, okay? Because whenever that happens, I eat my words, like, very, very soon. And words are not tasty. Words are fucking gross. Stop eating them. I don't know. And speaking of words, why do I keep saying words? Like... I should really just stop talking. Alright, let's not hit the lighthouse this time. Oh my fucking god. Spyro, I swear to god. You guys stop hitting lighthouses, man. Alright, please. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Yes! Okay. We're good. Alright, like I said last episode, make sure you guys leave in the comments what's your lowest time on this flying level. See if you can beat my score. Please beat my score. I want to see you guys annihilate it. Alright, so now let's move on to the boss level here. We are almost done with this world. Which, after this world, like I mentioned before, you're actually going to go back to the original recording I did, like 2 weeks ago. Because I've now gone over all the stuff that I had audio issues on, except for one level in Magic Crafters. I'm actually going to redo one more level real fast before moving on to Spyro 2. So, alright. Yeah, those guys killed themselves. They're not the brightest. But, hey, the gems fly back up to you, so don't worry about missing out on those. That was pretty cool. 2 for the price of 1. 2 gems, one motion. Alright, I wonder if those guys eat the minions here as well. That's cool. I never noticed that their staff is left behind. And what is that, like a meat cleaver? Like a butcher's knife? That's a bit frightening. Alright, this jump is also pretty tricky. This one right here. Oh god, am I gonna make it? Please make it. Thank you. Okay, and a single 25 gem. As always, super satisfying. Head inside. Alright, the boss is right up there, but first we're gonna get the dragon. Trondo.
Dr. Shemp thinks he's so cool. You don't know what it's been like listening to him over and over. But I tell you one thing, he should watch his back.
Now that's a badass dragon right there. Let me tell you. It's gotta be one of the most badass dragons in the entire game, actually. Alright, so I should have everything from out here. Let's head in and fuck this guy up. Now there is a skill point here. Hopefully I won't fail this. Basically I can't get hit by this guy at all. Let's not do that. There we go. That's like one of the only situations where I find the dodge roll to be really useful. Alright, this one's really easy. Just wait for him to turn around and flame his ass. And the third one's the same thing, except he swings his little staff pretty low when he does that little spinny dancy do. So just jump over it. And torch his ass. And there you go. Skill point acquired. Thank you, sir. Onward to mail. Comment down below if you get that reference. I'm curious. I mentioned it earlier on this episode, but... And that is it for World 2. So let's get the hell out of here and go to World 3. And actually resume the original recording. And that's an even 3,000 gems. It's a good number. Flap, flap, flap. Okay. Run over to the balloonist and get the hell out of this desert.
I can't believe how fast you found so much stolen treasure. Hop aboard for the Magic Crafter's world if you're ready.
Let's do this shit. Alright, on to World 3. Now this is where the game really picks up for me. This world and the next two are like my favorite parts of the entire game. But you'll now get to see me from 2 weeks ago play through this entire world. So, hope you guys enjoy that.